What's going on, family? Welcome to another episode of the Seasonal Road Show. I am your host, and today we're to talk about Aileen Romulus. I want to start this review off by saying that this is a spoiler-free review. We're going to talk about more on Movie Talk Mondays, but for now, I just want to get this out there just so you guys know that Aileen Romulus is freaking amazing, man. Go check it out. It is worth seeing on the big screen. It's needed. Like, this film needs to make like a big impact. Like right now it's projected to do about 50 million at the box office. It deserves more. This film was amazing from start to finish. Fede Álvarez directed this film, and it seems like this guy just doesn't miss, from Evil Dead to Don't Breathe to Aileen Romulus. Like, this guy is hitting every mark that he needs to hit for his legacy. Now, with me, I'm not the hugest Alien fan. I almost brought up Predator, but that's a whole nother thing. I'm not the hugest Alien fan. Now, I've seen the movies. I don't remember everything from every film, but I just remember watching these films growing up. So now it's like with this one, and of course we love Prometheus from a few years back. Alien Covenant, not so much, but just this film brought that horror thriller back. Like Prometheus was more educational. It was just explaining a lot. And again, I love those type of films, so it hooked. With the Alien franchise, it's not really a lot of explaining going on. And with this film, it definitely went back to its essence of this is a horror. Little tidbits of what's going on in the background as far as like hints, but it's more so, hey, you're going to have to catch the next film to understand why this is happening, right? But this film takes place between the first and the second Alien film. Not chronologically, but from the way it was released. So it kind of had the ending of the first Alien film in there where the alien cast like sent like a cocoon, basically. And it shows that in the trailer, and it really was something that everyone was excited for. I know my friend was excited for it. Shout out to you, Steve. But I didn't see it. I didn't pay attention to that part in the trailer. But I was excited for this film because I seen a little bit of the footage from a couple months ago at a convention I went to. And now just seeing it on the big screen, just seeing it, it didn't fail me. Like, this is the movie that I've been waiting for all summer. Like, it was Bad Boys 4 because, again, I'm a Will Smith, Martin Lawrence fan. So I've been waiting on, and I'm a fan of that franchise. So I've been waiting on that film. But as far as like my most anticipated film for the summer, it definitely was Aileen Romulus. A lot of people, it was Deadpool versus Wolverine. It's just not my cup of tea. I kind of knew what I was going to get out of that film. But this film did what it needed to do. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. This movie was damn near perfect. There's a scene in this movie, I'm not going to spoil anything, but the alien is taking one of like its victims up. Like it stabs them and it's taking them up. And you kind of hear it throughout the speakers in the auditorium. And I'm like, this is why you can't watch stuff at home. And I heard that this was supposed to be a Hulu film. And just think about that, guys. Just think about where we are in the world where this phenomenal film was supposed to go straight to streaming. Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. But this is what we're going against now, guys. It's weird that was even a thought, especially with something this amazing. They got away with it with Prey. I didn't feel that Prey was a great film. I didn't feel that it was a good film, honestly. I just felt like it was made for TV. It was streaming. And if it was something I would have had to pay for, I definitely wouldn't have recommended it. And honestly, for free, I didn't recommend watching it at all. And somehow it got all this praise, but a week or two later, I haven't heard anything about it since. So Aileen Romulus is not that. I just want to specify that. Go check this out in the movie theater. It is worth it. 9 out of 10. Solid film. Action, horror, suspense. You need to see it. Sci-fi. And that's another thing. Sci-fi gets me every time. Like, these sci-fi horror films, again, it goes back to like The Annihilation. Tenet is more like sci-fi, but it's one of those films. It's just, I don't know. It's something about that sci-fi genre of, hey, this is space exploration, this is time traveling, this is that helps me escape the real world for a minute. And this is definitely one of those films to help you do it. Now, I'm again going to say, go ahead, check out Alien Romulus. Fede Álvarez, you did it again. This is a Scott Ridley film just because he produced the first film. Maybe he directed the first film. Not really sure. Don't really care. This film was phenomenal. I want to go to the first Alien film, and for the alien to be played by Bolaji Budajo. He's a Nigerian. He was 6'10", and this is back in the 70s, guys. So this is kind of unheard of, especially with a foreigner just becoming a star in a film like this. It's just, it never was a thing. And the fact that he didn't play in the sequel just because he moved back to Nigeria is wild. And there's a dope film. It's like a documentary, and it's called Black Noir, A History in Horror, Black People in Horror, or something like that. Look it up. It's a dope film. And it just kind of explores how black people were portrayed as the villains in film from the first film that was ever made in America or ever seen in America. And that was Birth of a Nation. And from that point, they started casting, or not really casting. What they would do is have the people in blackface to portray the villain. Then they started casting black actors to play the villains. And this is one of those times where they casted a black actor to play the alien. And I thought that was kind of dope because it wasn't, like I said, it kind of takes you from the real world. So you don't look at it in that aspect, but it's still there, right? And I don't want to get too deep into this conversation, but the importance of the Michael Myers films, Halloween, the Jason films, Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger, like taking it away from that, hey, this black thing, this thing is, these people are villains. From those films is why they were wearing a white mask, just to separate from those other type of films that were trying to portray black people as villains. So again, that's just one of those tidbits. Again, I'm a historian, I'm a cinephile, so like looking at those things and everything being connected in that time frame, I'm not going to say it's dope because again, it is nice to know about the history, but the history is kind of messed up. So, but it's one of those things that to shine a light on, is so you know now moving forward, we don't make those mistakes again, right? So again, man, like it's just one of those films that brought me some excitement this summer. I haven't had this in a while. Like, I can't believe how phenomenal this film was. So I'm going to get into the second part of this. Again, Alien Romulus, 9 out of 10, phenomenal. Go check it out. You deserve to be entertained this summer. Now, I'm going to get into a couple things. We talked about D23 last week, and I was watching other YouTube videos because that's what I do throughout the day. I kind of listen to them in the background on my drives. If I'm working, just listen to them. They're the background noise. I try to get away from music, so they're my background noise, right? And I was listening to the John Campea show, and he stated that I guess one of the people chimed in and stated that, or a guest, one of his guests asked that, or not asked, he pretty much was saying that Wesley Snipes is the godfather of the MCU. Like, without Blade, there would be no MCU. And he went on to say that this is not true, right? He also stated that without Blade's success, X-Men would have been made, as well as Spider-Man would have been made. Now, I know John Campea. I watch his show. I've been watching the show for years. He has an amazing show. I don't agree with everything that he says, but he has some valid points. This was just one of those points that was not valid at all. Like, for you to think, especially in the 90s, that someone was going to take a chance on unnamed actors to play superheroes and put $120 million behind them to make these films, it just was unheard of. That's why it took a Wesley Snipes to make a comic book film for it to be successful, because without that main star, it wouldn't have worked. We just got into that realm with the Robert Downey Jr.'s becoming Iron Man, and now he's a big star. Yes, he was an actor before then, but he was not the star. He was never at the level that he is now. But in the 90s, you had to be a sure thing for them to put money behind you, plain and simple. And a lot at that time, Marvel was in a lot of debt. They was sold off most of their assets. They were just in trouble. They were in shambles. And you can't say that X-Men that came out in 2000, 2001, somewhere around there, would have been made if that 1998 film didn't become successful. Yes, you could say it went into pre-production in 1998, but in 1996, 95, that's when they were filming Blade. So you gotta understand, guys, like that, not guys, but John Campea, you have to understand that that was the pinnacle of this. And you don't have to agree. It goes back into that thing where you don't want to give these black people their credit. Just give them the due, guys. It's not that difficult. At this point, you think any company is going to put money behind an unknown Hugh Jackman in 2000, you're crazy. That's just not the way that things worked back then. If you were not a known actor, money was not put behind you at that, not that type of money. Point blank, period. You had to prove that you were a success for $100 million to be dropped on a production. Simple as that. So again, guys, do your research. John Campea, we love you. Thank you for giving us all this movie talk for all these years, but you're absolutely incorrect with that one. Yeah, just do your research. It's there. And as I'm sure you probably did, but what people can say, oh, they were in production or they were going to do this regardless. Hindsight's 2020. Like, come on now. The writing's there. The writing's on the wall. Let's be honest with ourselves. All right. So with that said, that is the C's Monroe Show. I'm going to talk to you guys more about Alien Romulus this Monday for Movie Talk Mondays. I can't wait to get into the deep dive with it. I'm going to watch it again. I can't wait to watch it again. I'm going to have to go check it out tomorrow. This film is just phenomenal, man. Y'all should definitely go check it out. Leave it in the comments what you thought about it, what you think is missing from the film, what do you think is coming after. I do want to say that I kind of want to bring my rating down a little bit because I felt like the ending was rushed a little bit, but I'm going to get to that on Monday for Movie Talk Mondays. All right. So I'll see you guys then. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'll see you next week. Peace.